Okay, so get ready, because today we're going on a deep dive into some serious wisdom.
All
We're
right.
talking about life lessons at 30, 15 insights from, originally a Thai source.
Cool.
Now, don't let that title make you think this is only for people turning 30.
Right.
This is relevant for, like, if you're just starting out in life or, you're somewhere in between.
Absolutely.
Think of it as a cheat sheet for navigating life, distilled from someone's, like, hard-won experience.
Yeah, it's fascinating how, these insights, even though they come from a specific culture,
Right.
they resonate so universally. They
Uh,
touch upon those like fundamental challenges and joys we all encounter, throughout life.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So let's unpack this, starting with something I think we can all relate to,
Okay.
that constant struggle to find work-life balance.
Yeah.
The first insight really struck me. It says, dare to say that's enough for today when you can't solve a work problem.
Mm.
Sometimes the best solution is to simply step away for a bit.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that when you're stuck on a problem, taking a break often leads to a breakthrough?
Absolutely.
It's like your brain needs that downtime to process and come up with fresh perspectives.
It's fascinating how our brains work that way, right? When we
Oh,
step away from a problem, we're actually engaging different parts of our mind.
totally.
It's like shifting gears, and often that shift is all it takes to unlock a solution that was eluding us when we were, hyper focused.
It's not about giving up. It's about giving your brain a chance to kind of work its magic in the background.
Exactly.
I love that. And speaking of giving yourself a break,
Yes.
insight number 5 is all about rewarding yourself after completing a task,
Right.
no matter how small.
Yeah.
It's not just about the treat itself. It's about acknowledging your accomplishments and building positive reinforcement.
For sure.
What are some of your favorite ways to celebrate a win, even a small one?
For me, it's about finding those little rituals that signal the completion of something. It could be as simple as enjoying a cup of tea in silence or taking a walk in nature.
Right.
It's about creating a positive association with accomplishment
Hmm.
so you're more motivated to tackle the next challenge.
I'm all about those little rituals.
Yeah.
Sometimes those small wins can help us gain clarity on the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like when we need to make a major life change. This next insight talks about the challenges of knowing when it's time to move on from a job.
Mm-hmm.
It acknowledges that internal struggle we often face wanting to leave but worrying about finances or the unknown.
Right.
What advice would you give to someone wrestling with this decision?
It's a classic dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
On one hand, you have this yearning for something different, but on the other, there's the fear of instability.
Right.
I think it's crucial to approach this with a balance of practicality and intuition.
Okay.
Analyze your financial situation, explore potential opportunities, but also pay attention to your gut feeling.
Interesting.
What is your inner voice telling you? Sometimes the most logical decision isn't necessarily the most fulfilling one.
That makes so much sense. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about relationships and communication.
Right.
Insight number 2 encourages us to decline invitations honestly, even if it means saying no to colleagues or friends. I think we've all been there, making up excuses
Okay.
because we feel obligated to say yes.
It's a common trap, and it often stems from a fear of disappointing others.
Right.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, we see that honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, is the foundation of healthy relationships.
For sure.
A genuine no delivered with kindness and respect is far more valuable than a string of excuses.
That's so true. It's about setting those boundaries and respecting your own time and energy.
Exactly.
This leads perfectly into insight number 3, which is all about expressing your true feelings. It encourages us to be brave enough to share what's really going on inside.
And this is where emotional intelligence comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about recognizing your own emotions, but also being attuned to how others are feeling.
Interesting.
It's about reading social cues, empathizing with different perspectives, and responding in a way that builds strong relationships.
So it's about vulnerability, but it's also about being mindful of how our words and actions impact others.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
And, even with the best communication skills, sometimes relationships hit a rough patch.
Mm-hmm.
Insight number 14 talks about the importance of reconciliation, saying being the first to reconcile isn't a big deal.
It's such a powerful reminder that holding on to anger or resentment only hurts us in the long run.
Yeah.
Taking that first step, even when it's hard, shows strength and a willingness to prioritize the relationship over pride.
Right.
It's about understanding that forgiveness, both for ourselves and others, is essential for moving forward.
Absolutely. Okay, let's switch gears again and dive into the world of self-awareness and growth.
All right.
Insight number 4 is a great reminder to take care of our bodies before things start going wrong.
Yeah.
It's so easy to neglect our health until we experience a wake-up call.
It's about shifting from a reactive approach to a proactive one.
Okay.
Think of it like maintaining a car. If you wait until the engine blows, the repairs are going to be far more costly and time-consuming than regular checkups and maintenance.
Right.
The same applies to our bodies.
That's such a good analogy. It's about making those small, consistent efforts to nourish ourselves physically and mentally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, speaking of pushing ourselves, insight number 8 challenges us to step outside our comfort zones. It suggests that real growth happens when we embrace discomfort.
This is where resilience is built. When we push past our perceived limits, we discover hidden strength and capabilities we didn't even know we had.
Yeah.
It's about expanding our capacity for challenge and developing a mindset that embraces growth and learning.
So it's like those weightlifters who keep adding more weight to the bar. They're
Mhm.
constantly challenging their muscles to grow stronger.
Exactly.
All right, let's tackle a topic that can be a bit of a minefield: social media. Insight number 10 warns us about the dangers of comparing ourselves to the curated perfection we often see online.
It's so important to remember that social media is a highlight reel, not reality.
Right.
People tend to showcase their best moments, their successes, their picture-perfect lives.
Right.
But behind those carefully crafted images, everyone is facing their own struggles and insecurities.
Yeah.
Comparing ourselves to those curated versions can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt.
It's like comparing our bloopers reel to someone else's finished film.
Exactly.
And this leads perfectly into insight number 11, which encourages us to let go of the need for external validation. Don't worry too much about what others think of you.
It's about shifting our focus from external approval to internal authenticity.
Okay.
When we're constantly seeking validation from others, we give away our power.
Right.
True freedom comes from living in alignment with our own values and letting go of the need to please everyone.
It's about finding that inner compass and trusting its guidance. Okay, let's talk about something really positive. The power of connection.
Yes.
Insight number 13 celebrates those energizing friendships that make us feel alive.
Surrounding ourselves with people who lift us up, who inspire us, who believe in us is essential for our well-being.
Absolutely.
These are the relationships that fuel our growth, provide support during challenging times, and make life's journey more meaningful.
They're like our own personal cheerleading squad.
Exactly.
And speaking of those who believe in us, insight number 15 is a beautiful reminder to be thankful for those who trust us unconditionally.
It's about recognizing and appreciating the gift of unwavering support. Unconditional trust creates a safe space for us to be vulnerable, to make mistakes, to grow without fear of judgment.
Right.
Cultivating gratitude for these relationships enriches our lives immeasurably.
It's like having a solid foundation that allows us to reach higher. Okay, let's talk about something that can be tough to embrace: acceptance and self-compassion.
Right.
Insight number 12 offers this simple yet profound reminder. It's just a mistake. It's okay.
This goes back to the idea of self-kindness.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. It's part of being human.
Right.
The key is to learn from them without beating ourselves up. When we approach our mistakes with compassion, we create space for growth and resilience.
It's about giving ourselves the same grace we would extend to a friend.
Absolutely.
And sometimes letting go is an act of self-compassion, especially when relationships end.
Yeah.
Insight number 9 encourages us to accept the end of a relationship without dwelling on blame.
This can be incredibly challenging, especially if there's hurt involved.
Right.
But sometimes letting go, even if it's painful, is the kindest thing we can do for ourselves and the other person.
Totally.
It frees us to move forward and create space for new possibilities.
It's like acknowledging that sometimes chapters end, and that's okay.
Right.
All right, let's end this deep dive on a heartwarming note.
Okay.
Insight number 7 talks about the power of nostalgia, saying, sometimes when we're tired, reminiscing about childhood can feel good.
There's something so restorative about revisiting those carefree days.
Yeah.
It can be a way to reconnect with our sense of wonder, joy, and playfulness.
Right.
It reminds us of who we are at our core before the weight of adult responsibility settled in.
It's like taking a mental vacation back to a simpler time.
Absolutely.
Well, as we surface from this deep dive into life lessons at 30, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Which of these insights resonated most with you? What's one small step you can take today to incorporate that wisdom into your own life?
Good question.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
Awesome.
See ya.
Bye.